Yes. Call to order this Village of Ashcroft Council meeting for Monday, May 13th, 2024. Mayor and Council wish to acknowledge that the meeting today is held within the traditional territory of the Inclacatan people. Also like to acknowledge that this is National Police Week, and just want to send out a thank you to all the police officers around BC who work to keep us safe, sometimes in very challenging circumstances. I know that we here in Ashcroft and the surrounding area are very thankful for our detachment and for the many officers who've served there over the years. So thank you very much for all that you do and continue to do for our communities to keep us safe. All right, we have one addition to the agenda under new business. Are there any other additions to deletions from the agenda? No?
No, sorry, no.
All right, I will move that we adopt the agenda as amended.
Second.
Second by Councillor Davenport, thank you. All those in favor? Opposed, if any, that is carried. We have the minutes of the special meeting of council held on Monday, April the 22nd. There is a slight change to this in that the end time of that meeting should be 5:09, not 7:09 p.m. Are there?
It's actually 5:35.
5:35? Okay, 5:35. All right. So, would someone like to move that we accept the minutes? Thank you.
Second.
Second by Councillor Lambert. Any other errors or omissions? Move then on the motion. All those in favor? Opposed, if any, carried. We have the minutes of the regular meeting of council held Monday, April 22nd. Councillor Davenport?
I move that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held Monday, April 22nd be adopted as presented.
Thank you. Second. Councillor Clement? Any errors or omissions? All those in favor? Opposed, if any? That is carried. All right, we have no delegations this evening. We move on to public input. Nothing from the public at this time. All right, anything online, Leith? Nope. We have adoption of the 5-year financial plan bylaw number 867.
I'll move that the 5-year financial plan bylaw number 867, 2024 be adopted.
I'll second.
Thank you, Councillor Lambert. Is there any discussion on this? Thank you again for the comprehensive presentation, CFO Bala, and all the work.
Thank you.
CFO's favorite time of the year. All right, on the motion then, all those in favor? Opposed, if any, that is carried. Item 5.2, tax rates bylaw number 868. Councillor Lambert?
I move that tax rates bylaw number 868, 2024 be adopted.
Thank
Second
you.
that.
Councillor Davenport, any discussion on this item? Okay, thank you very much. CFO Bala? On the motion then, all those in favor? Opposed, if any, carried. And Village of Ashcroft fees and charges bylaw number 869. Councillor Davenport.
I move that the Village of Ashcroft fees and charges bylaw number 869, 2024 be adopted.
I'll
Thank you.
second.
Councillor Lambert, any discussion on the fees and charges bylaw? On the question, all those in favor? Opposed, if any, carried. Item 6.1, we have the CAO Economic Development and Tourism Coordinator report on the assessment of the Japanese mural at the Heritage Park. We do have a recommendation. Councillor Clement?
I'd like to move that in light of the significant damage to the Japanese mural at Heritage Park, it is proposed that council send a report to the mayor and council of BIFCA expressing our concern and extend an invitation to artists from BIFCA to consult with us in developing a plan to move forward.
All right,
I'll
thank
second.
you. Councillor Lambert, all right, discussion.
Well, I like that idea better than repainting, that's for sure. Or trying to fix it, yeah.
Yes, and I thank Joe Petty very much for bringing up the very valid point about
Yes.
honoring the vision and artistic integrity of the original artist.
Yes.
Because
Right.
anytime you start retouching, I know we have had this discussion with the mosaics, what happens if they start to
Yep.
deteriorate and we no longer have Marina and Daniel available. It's slightly different, but in the same ballpark with this. And I do like the idea of asking for the input of BIFCA. And I think in the meantime, we can try to brainstorm or have staff think of some options possibly where it could be put possibly indoors and displayed as it is. I don't know.
Pretty big.
It's pretty big.
It is big, I know.
Yeah, I don't.
It just seems a shame if it were to just go into storage somewhere and never
Oh,
be seen
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Perhaps that would be a discussion to have with Joe Petty after we find out what artists in BIFCA might say is, is there a way that we could preserve it for indoor?
Indoor.
Is, obviously
Yeah.
no elements there, no battering sun, wind, rain, snow.
Do we know what the dimensions are roughly? No.
Really big.
It's really big.
It is
Maybe the
big.
community hall.
It's
No.
I think it's too
not-
tall for the
Too tall
community
for the
hall.
community hall. I think the only building we have big enough is probably the arena, and then the moisture in there wouldn't be
Yeah.
any good
Yeah.
for it. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what.
Have to put our thinking caps on.
Okay. Any other discussion on this? On the motion then, all those in favor? Opposed, if any, carried. Item 6.2, CFO Report, 2023 Statement of Financial Information. Councillor Lambert?
I move that council approves the 2023 Statement of Financial Information Statement of Financial Information Report as presented.
Thank
Second that.
you. Councillor Davenport, discussion? No. On the question, all those in favor? Opposed, if any? That is carried. Item 6.3, CAO Verbal Report. Over to you, CAO Dick. Sorry.
Thank you.
We've heard from CFO Ballin now. It's
It's my turn.
your turn.
I was going to write a bunch of reports, and I thought, these are not really report worthy, but it's always nice to share. And then, as always, I research what other communities or regional districts are doing, and I stumbled across TNRDs and how they do a verbal report from the CAO from time to time. So I thought I would do something similar for those things that don't require a whole lot of research or writing and decision making, but it's really just information sharing. So that way it just adds to that transparency bit, keeps everybody in the loop. So
Yeah.
I have a few things that I did provide you with bullet noted items for discussion. So the first one is Southern Interior Local Government Association, the conference. Thank you very much for allowing me to attend. It was a really good week, a busy week. And there were some really interesting things, and I think of so I thought I'd just talk a little bit about my 4 favorite items. The first one I think was definitely opening ceremonies at the Arbor. I think that was really well done. It was a really nice way to incorporate and bring the two communities together and give us the experience of being there. And I thought that was really insightful and definitely a step further towards reconciliation and just honoring the nations and all of the local governments that were there. So kudos to the organizers, fantastic job. I attended the Fire Smart session. Now, some of the topics I felt were where there's a lot of business that was really outside of what I could do, so I scooted away to do some work from time to time. But there's a few sessions that I did attend, and the Fire Smart session was one because it's near and dear to our heart, and we're going through that process right now ourselves. That I thought was a lot of it was reiterating all of the information that we know and just really giving us some insight once again about the state of the forests and why we're dealing with the wildfires that we're seeing today. And it has to do with how we've managed the forests, the disease that has been in the forest, all of the timbers and things that have fallen, and the fuel load that's on the floor of the forest, and just really thinking about or advising that we think about how to better manage our forests and why they're impacting us the way they are, and what we can do to protect our communities. And council's taking that first step towards fire smarting and moving forward with that, which is brilliant, which is submitted to is being submitted to UBCM tomorrow morning, I believe. So that's wonderful news as well. The other session that I really thought was insightful was the intergovernmental relations session. I really enjoyed that because they talked a lot about how do you get your best bang for your buck when you're meeting on that speed dating minister meetings at UBCM. And one of the biggest takeaways for me was to do your research and know what your minister is all about. What was his or her platform when they were running in the election the last time? You know, does your ask fit within that? You know, it just gives you a bit more. Do your research and really know where it is, and be careful to ask for your priority ask. You know, go in, be very precise. Don't just make a whole lot of small talk, but get to the point, be efficient, and then follow up. We've always done the follow up. And then when you do have those moments for, you know, groundbreaking or whatever, politicians love the spotlight. You know, that's what gets them reelected, right? So
I don't know what you're basing that on.
So when there's opportunity, invite that minister back and have that groundbreaking, you know, shovel in the ground or grand opening or whatever. But just really, it's not just a come in for those 15 minutes, but it becomes a relationship building process, right? And so that I thought was excellent. And then I had the pleasure of assisting with the election for the directors at large, and that was kind of fun, getting to talk to everybody as they were casting their votes and then counting up afterwards. The next, that kind of sums up Southern Interior Local Government Association Conference. The next item is NG 911 and the TNRD GIS shared service contract that we're under. So I think we've mentioned that we've met with Nicole Young, who is spearheading it from the TNRD's perspective. She met with Yogi and I, and she was really impressed with Yogi's mapping and his IT and the work that he's already done. I don't think she really realized what we actually have, and she was really impressed. And so our next big thing that we're going to do is move forward with matching up the addresses, confirming addresses that the TNRD has on their mapping system with ours. So it's going to be a little bit tedious. We have to take, Yogi thought initially it was going to be a shape file and he could just manipulate it and overlay it and do a comparison, but it's actually manual. So yeah, that's okay, you know, but we'll go through that, and it needs to be accurate, and then they can move forward with uploading all of those things. So that's well in hand. Our rainbow crosswalk is in sad state, and paint just doesn't seem to last with the salt that gets put down and whatnot. So we thought maybe a rainbow bench would be a better idea. So Brian has ordered a rainbow bench. We have yet to determine where it's going to go, but we thought it's out of the composite plastic, so it's similar to our other benches. It shouldn't fade. It shouldn't deteriorate. We should get some good quality use out of it for many years. So that will be arriving relatively soon, I would think, within the next month or so, perhaps. Yeah. And then we have a practicum student. The University of the Fraser Valley contacted us about, she's been here a week, so like literally a week and a half to 2 weeks ago, asking if we would be inclined to take a practicum student very last minute. I think they approached us 3 or 4 days before her arrival. And anyway, they gave us the name of this lady, and I kind of asked the girls, do you know this lady? And they said, no, don't know her. And she had actually moved to Ashcroft into the Battelle subdivision the weekend, and then Monday she came in to start her practicum with us, and it's all about records management. So she's been working. Her first day or so was with Mikey, understanding how the payroll system works and all of that, and then she moved in. She's primarily working with Chris because they have a lot of file projects on the go, and then she's going to spend a day with Courtney doing some of the records management there, and just kind of trying to give her a full perspective of records management for a municipality. And that seems to be going really well. She's a really lovely lady. Desert Sands bursaries have been sent out. All of the information is at the school. The school reached out to us last week. Grad is coming up, obviously, very quickly. June 16th, I believe. Off the top, I meant to write it down and I didn't. So our bursary requires the students applying to write us a short, brief essay about how small rural life has affected them growing up in a small community. So we anticipate to receive those applications in the next week or so, and then we'll be having to go through and select and make sure everything is prepared for graduation day. So if anyone would like to participate in that, just let me know. I'm happy to bring some council members on board, and it's always good to have more than one person or two people looking at the essays. And yeah, so that's exciting. Our pool staffing and operations update. So we have a head lifeguard, we have a manager, and we have 3 other guards confirmed. However, 2 of our guards won't be available until July 1st. So we're looking at, there may be opportunity for other guards to be hired. Brian and I are working through that with Lena, our head lifeguard, and Nancy, our manager, to see what we can do. In a perfect world, we'd like to open June 1st, but it may not happen until June 15th. It really is dependent on getting at least 2 more lifeguards. So we'll see where we are, but it is exciting news that we're able to open.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good work. Thank
Yes.
you very
That
much
was-
for
Yes.
doing that sort of media blast and beating the bushes and
That really helped, and I know, Nancy and Lena have been pushing it and contacting people that they know. We reached out to previous staff and said, are you interested? Or do you know of anyone that might be interested? We've got quite a lot of interest from students at the school and others in the area that are close to having their lifeguards. So we're hoping, Lena's getting her certification to teach those courses, so hopefully we'll have a few more heading in that direction, so that by next season we'll have a few more guards trained up. At least that's
Awesome.
That's the goal, and we'll
Yeah.
continue to have that succession planning process going on. Do we?
Also, we took some steps financially to help out in getting that. Does it set a precedent? We will see, but we needed to be a little more flexible in getting.
Yeah. Yeah, and then lastly is our CMP Sergeant appointment here at the Ashcroft Detachment, and just Corporal Benfeld has been appointed as Sergeant, and we did send a letter on Council's behalf congratulating her on her promotion.
so she will be Sergeant Harris.
Yes.
Oh,
She's
okay.
taking her married name. So,
Oh, that's good news.
yes. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome, thank you.
And thank you also for not only for the getting lifeguards for this year, but also looking to the future to
Yes.
make sure that we
Yeah.
do have the trained people who can start at 16, 17 and then come up. As Councillor Davenport knows all too well what it's like
Yeah.
at the pool as well, and just to make sure that we've got that, and just, I really do think COVID
Yeah.
sort of broke the chain there, and I think awesome job in getting it mended, so that now we can keep that steady supply.
Thank you, that was a team effort, for sure.
Right, anyone have any questions or comments for CAO Dick on her report? All right, we move on to items for action. We have a request from the JP Powwow Society, request for sponsorship of the Bonaparte Stuett's Powwow 2024. I move that we receive for information.
Okay.
Second by Councillor Clement. Thank you. Any discussion on this? I think possibly, I know that it doesn't align with the sorts of amounts they're looking for, but possibly we could reply to them and send them our copy of our grant and aid policy,
Oh, good idea.
so that
Good
they
idea,
know
yeah.
for future reference the process.
Yeah.
I don't think we need a
Yeah.
motion to that effect. Or do we need a motion to that effect? No, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, so we do have a motion to receive for information.
Second.
So we
Oh.
just, any further discussion?
Oh.
Okay, on the question, all those in favor? Opposed, if any? That's carried. Item 7.2, we are being asked to proclaim Hope Air Day 2024. June the 17th?
Yeah.
So I move that we adopt the attached proclamation to designate June 17th as Hope Air Day.
I'll second.
Councillor Lambert, thank you very much. Any discussion? I think this is a service that a lot more rural people need to know about. Any discussion
Whoops.
on the question? All those in favor? Opposed, if any? That's carried. Now, do we both have to recuse ourselves? Because we can't.
I would say that I will because I'm on the plenaire committee.
Okay, I'm
but
not on the
you are
plenaire
fine because
committee.
you're not on the
Okay.
plenaire committee, so I will recuse myself. because
Okay.
I'm in conflict.
Okay, Councillor Clement is recusing herself because she's on the RAPS Plein Air Committee, and this is a request for a donation of door prizes. It's a good thing I don't have to recuse myself, or we would not be having a discussion about this. All right, so we do have a request for donation of door prizes for the Plein Air Paint Out, which is coming back to Ashcroft June 7th to 9th. Councillor Lambert.
I move that we do a door prize of some kind, put some swag together, and because this is such a good event, and it's been how many years now, Barbara?
Oh my goodness.
It's been a while.
2019 it was going, I want to say 2015
Yeah.
Yeah.
it started.
So, yeah, I think we should put a swag basket together of some kind, and
Or a selection of like, I know the charcuterie board is quite nice.
It's lovely.
So,
Some wine glasses.
yeah,
Something
some
to go
wine
with it.
glasses and the charcuterie board, that would make a nice gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right.
maybe a bottle of wine. If you're going to have the glasses, you're going to
From
have
the
the wine.
or cidery from the cidery that was there at the market on Sunday.
40. So could you perhaps put a sum of money to the amount
Yeah.
for the basket, and that will give us
I don't know how much things cost anymore.
Like
It's gone
up to
so much.
$75 would be enough to cover the charcuterie board,
Okay.
the wine
Yeah.
glasses, and a bottle of wine.
okay.
75
So
works.
up to $75.
Up to, okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
so that was moved by Councillor Lambert, seconded by Councillor Davenport. Has to be since there's no one else here. All right, any discussion? I think that'll be really nice. It'll be nice in keeping with because with the spirit of the event, because they always have
Yes.
that nice reception on the Friday night.
Yeah.
All right. And I will, for anyone out there, there will be a walking tour of Ashcroft on June the 8th, Saturday, for spouses and partners of artists, and
Did-
I'll be leading it. We haven't voted yet.
Okay.
And I'll be leading it, so any members of the public who want to come, please let us know. More the merrier.
Who seconded?
Councillor Davenport.
Thank you. Sorry, I missed
All
it.
right, on the question, all those in favor? Opposed, if any? That's carried. And we have a few items for information. We don't need a motion, but does anyone want to talk about them? No? Councillor Clement, we're on 7.4 to 7.11. Nothing there? Councillor Lambert.
I didn't get, I do have the Voyant alert on my phone, but I didn't get this emergency test one.
That
So
was
do I
from
have to?
That was from the TNRD only. It wasn't from the Village of Ashcroft.
Okay.
As I understand, I did get something, because I've pinned Kamloops as a location that I get notifications for.
Oh, okay.
So you have to go in and physically tag other places if you want to get
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
alerts from them as well.
Thank you very much, because I thought maybe I had to reload it or something. You know how technical I am.
I would assume that any TNRD alert that affects Ashcroft would go out through you guys as an Ashcroft alert, right? Like,
If it came out for Area I
well, I'm
suspect
not
we,
just- that's specifically to the Village of Ashcroft.
It depends. Some people may have signed up for both. So they could potentially, TNRD could send a Voyant alert to residents in Ashcroft, but unless they're signed up to their system,
Yeah.
they wouldn't get it.
yeah, unless they've signed up to get them from the TNRD, then
Yeah.
they won't.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. If
Okay,
anything
that
need to
makes
come through, it
sense.
would be us.
Yeah.
All right. right, Councillor Clement, did you have something on one of the information items?
Oh, I'm just for the two true studies. I know the lady that's doing it. We've done some things in the past with her through the hub, and she's very excited to get information and to collect data from rural populations and so forth.
Good.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? All right, unfinished business. We have the task manager. Does anyone have any questions or comments about all those green boxes?
We need to change the unfinished business because there isn't any.
It's finished.
Yeah.
All right, we move on to item 9.1, new business, and we do have new business. We have a report from the Economic Development and Tourism Coordinator, and we do have a recommendation, which is that the Village of Ashcroft supports the revised community consultation timeline recommended by the Economic Development Working Group. So who would like to move that recommendation? Councillor Clement, seconded by Councillor Davenport. All right, discussion.
I just have one
Councillor Lambert.
very small comment. This all looks really good. The only thing I would change is the time for the evening session. I know from working at Safe Tomorrow, they don't get off until 6:15, 6:30. So I'm just thinking maybe a 7 o'clock start might be a little bit better.
Okay. Now, I have a question. When Marion Lowe is out talking to people, market table, etc., is she just asking people, do you have ideas for what our brand should be?
So there's actually a survey questions that had about 8, 9 questions on it, and it was more not so much what do you think the Ashcroft brand should be. It's actually more what are your feelings of Ashcroft? Why do you love Ashcroft? What's the best thing about Ashcroft? And because that's what a brand is encompassing is that feeling, that essence of Ashcroft, not just a picture on a logo. That's right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so the logo is the visual representation of the essence that she is trying to capture by getting all of this data.
Okay.
Well said.
I was just going to say that also.
So
Okay.
yeah, we're very excited to be able to have lots of community consultation. And we're hoping that lots of people actually
Yeah.
do the survey or come to the events or come to us when they are.
So we're looking at having the farm market consultation booth on 3 separate dates, right?
The
Yep.
first date is more just promoting the fact that we're having, so this one coming up will just be promoting the fact that we're doing this, the reason for it, what a brand is, kind of why we're doing it, and the fact that there's going to be a community consultation on the 28th. And then the survey will be ready for the 26th market and the June 2nd market as well, so people can come and do the survey or ask us questions. And it won't be her doing it, it'll be one of the committee members.
And if we're going, I mean, Tuesday, May 28th, that's not actually that far.
No, it's
No.
not.
How soon are we going to be able to get promotion out for this across every possible way, including smoke signals?
Tomorrow is
Tomorrow.
when we go for it.
Okay?
Yeah.
Margaret's
exactly.
on it, and so is Marion. They're both ready to go. And they recognize the timeline. I think they were quite, because council set a June 30th timeline initially, we need to keep it tight. We need to keep that momentum. Once we establish the momentum, it just needs to continuously roll, and which just kind of led us into that conversation. Well, we can plan one of those, our community barbecues, and have a really big table set up and really promote it there as well. And just kind of tie a bunch of community events together where we know we get a good turnout of local residents, aside from having the meetings at the hub. And then also going to the school to get that youth input and
Yeah.
different things. So trying to gather all, and if we feel we're not getting enough of a response, then we'll take groups, or we'll send representatives to the seniors, to the Legion, and just get out to other community groups to make sure that we're communicating with them and inviting them to participate.
CFO Bala?
Your worship, my thought process had gone to the swag we bought and put in place. That'll probably have to change, right? Once the logo
Yeah.
changes, so.
Gotta sell it.
We
Everything.
have to, unfortunately, we ordered just before this process began and got the jackets
They're going to be collector's items.
and maybe,
Put them on sale.
Collector's items.
So June 22nd is the community barbecue. What, how soon, when are we planning on having choices presented to us that we're going to pick from?
First week in July.
So
July.
there's going to be basically two different options, opportunities for the community. There's going to be the original community consultations, which is just gathering that research and gathering those ideas. And then Marion is going to provide us with some ideas of actual logo and taglines and whatnot. That will then probably potentially be narrowed down just by the ECDEV committee. And then those will be presented at the barbecue for people to vote on, or make suggestions about or whatever. And then we will, as council, be able to have that information provided to us, and we can make a final decision.
Okay. Are there any concerns? I mean, I understand the need to do this quickly because we, the wayfinding signage is waiting.
Yeah.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. Are we concerned that we are going to run into a repeat of when it happened before and people are going to say it was too rushed, I didn't know?
Okay, well, maybe can I clarify then? We're of the impression council wanted this done by June 30th.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that I'm just, like I said, just playing devil's
Okay.
advocate that.
And we pushed it out into July because we thought that was
Yeah.
too tight. But we can slow it down if we feel that we're not getting enough feedback quick enough, we could slow it down.
And that was kind of our thinking was, if we have a lot of people come out to the two community consultation meetings and have a really great turnout for that, then we're not going to need much other input other than we can get the farmer's market. If we don't have a lot, it's kind of plan B. Okay, how do we go to the people and get the information from them? Because we don't want to just have 5 people making decisions.
Yes, exactly.
Right, so
Yeah.
we don't necessarily have a
Yeah.
number or a percentage, but if 5 people or even 20 people only come to participate, that's not enough. We need a bigger amount of people to provide information and input as to what Ashcroft is to them and what that is. So.
And if I can, I think the ideas that we came up with, engaging the youth, going to the schools, and engaging AIB, those things weren't done the last time. It was just more of you can attend these workshops, and they were during the day, and I myself could not attend because I was working. So, I think we're trying to engage on different levels in different ways. So I believe it's, fingers crossed, I think that we'll get a good representation of what people might think and feel about it.
Yeah.
And there's an online survey, so even if you can't come to any of the meetings, you can still participate by providing your input through the survey.
Right.
Perfect. Thank you, Jessica.
Okay. And do we have any idea of the cost of replacing everything that would have to be replaced? Again, and I
That's a
know
good
Councillor
question.
Lambert probably thinks that I'm absolutely wedded to the Ashcroft Wellness Awaits You.
No,
and
I
I'm-
never said that.
And I'm not.
I didn't do it.
And I'm not, no, I mean, I'm not necessarily, the world's biggest fan of it. I just, in practical terms,
Yeah, I
how much is
understand.
it going to cost to
Cost us.
change absolutely everything that we have? That's going to be not inconsiderable.
Well, business cards,
Flags.
flags.
Stationery.
Yeah.
But stationery. do you
It's
have
like
already-
we print it all.
Yeah, you printed
Yeah.
it, so it's not like you're
Yeah.
putting it on special paper that's already printed. And
Yeah,
then just
everything
swag.
has to be changed.
Yeah.
Would it be in-house that would be a decision, or could Margaret work with Marion to kind of flesh out what we have and what the total might be?
Well, it's just business cards and
No,
flags.
Because-
we would do it in-house.
Yeah,
it'd be
yeah.
an estimate. I mean,
Yeah.
swag would come up to 3,000, whatever we have invested in there. The extensive cost is website redesigning, but we're doing that
We're doing that.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But it's part of that. There's cost to change the online profiles and everything. Time-wise, there's cost, but that's, every time we change a brand, there is an expense. I'd say
Yeah.
over 5, under 10. Everything all said and done.
And a lot of that is time.
A bit of that is time and branding. advertising will change. We've done
Yeah.
advertising before, and that's kind of like sunk cost,
Yeah,
so.
cost of doing business, really,
Yeah.
changing it up.
Okay.
I mean, we could do something like if we get towards the end and we're seeking more feedback, we could do prizes of old swag.
I was thinking the same.
Or, just to, I mean, I'm sending out tax notices, I could say 10% more if you don't give feedback.
Maybe we could send
He's
the,
just joking, everyone.
but could we perhaps send the questionnaire out with the tax notices?
Ooh, that's a good idea. But
Might not be
it's
a
not
right
gonna be ready by
association.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I think separating it,
Yeah, might
Yeah,
not
true.
go together,
Okay.
That's true.
just,
Yeah. No, I think,
right?
Councillor Lambert?
I just want to thank everybody on the committee for how they're reaching out to our community. I'm very impressed with that, and I really thank you for that.
Thank you. We brainstormed long and hard this morning, just like,
Yeah.
how can
No, I
we
so
engage with
appreciate it.
everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Any further discussion? On the question, all those in favor? Opposed, if any, that's carried. We have no items under section 10, so we move on to council reports. Southern Interior Local Government, like CAO Dick, I thought that the opening ceremony at the Tecumseh Arbor was fantastic. It really was reconciliation in action. First time that the opening ceremonies of SILGA have ever been held on First Nations territory.
well,
So Kamikwe, Nikki Fraser, Councillor Nikki Fraser, who had to, she was the second alternate, because Cookbee Roseanne Casimir is badly injured her leg, and then her deputy badly injured his leg. So it was Kamikwe Fraser who came out and did a very good speech, and we were all really hoping she didn't fall. But she was awesome. And then afterwards, I signed up to go on the tour of the residential school building, which was very, very eye-opening, very moving. Not at all sensationalized, just very matter of fact. Our guide was an excellent young woman who really knew her stuff, and it was a very sobering experience. Councillor Clement and I had a chance to go on the Rocky Mountaineer. We didn't go on the Rocky Mountaineer. We went to a stationary car.